What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hammerstack, and today we'll be doing another speed, RAM, temperature, Geekbench and a 3DMark test over here between two very powerful phones. In the first corner we have the POCO F4 GT as going up against the Realme GT2 Pro. And of course, before we start anything, let's check out the temperatures that we're in. In the room, it is at about 28 degrees, which is pretty hot here in Malaysia, 35.2, and on the F4 GT, 34.7. So we're going to put these two phones up right now and see which one would come out on top. Let's see if the POCO F4 GT would be able to beat the GT2 Pro. So the interesting thing about this test is that both of these two phones would be into their performance mode. Here with the GT2 Pro, I think they call it the GT mode, whereas over here is the performance mode. And we're going to see if there's any difference. So in terms of booting up, just slightly ahead of the F4 GT. And everything's all ready to go. And just before I want to go on any further, I just want to let you guys know that both of these two phones have been charged up to 100% on over here. And also in terms of the display settings, both of them are maxed out in terms of display settings, and of course both of them are running in at 120 Hz and also 1080p also. And we're gonna check out the temperatures right now. 35.4, and on the F4 GT 35.4, so very similar indeed. So as you can see, there's about the battery here. There's something called the performance mode, and we're going to go on to the settings. I'm just going to show you here. Then I turn on the performance, and here the GT mode would be turned on. Okay, so it's all ready to go. We're going to see with all these apps and all these tests if it does show any difference. These are the apps that we are going to test out. I'm just going to close up the settings right here. So these are the apps that we are going to test out. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. So one thing to note is that yes, both of these two phones are running the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, and both of them do have 12 gigs of RAM inside of them. Okay, the first test, let's see. Okay, looks like, not too sure why. Boom, this one was slightly hit. I'm not sure why I have to accept that one more time, but the F4 GT was a hit. And now let's go on to Pokemon Go. Okay, looks like the F4 GT is going to be ahead of the GT2 Pro. Okay, and we're on to the next one here, YouTube. Okay, about the same. Let's go to Instagram. About the same. I think the F4 GT just had a faster refresh. And go to PUBG Mobile, super huge app over here. Let's see which one will come out on top. Okay, it was just very fast on both phones. I think really can't tell who is the clear winner. It seems like the F4 GT. And let's go on to the settings. Go to the home. Temperature wise, 36 degrees, and on the F4 GT, 36.1 as well. So very similar indeed. Let's go to Chrome. Okay, about the same. Go to Facebook. Also about the same, no clear winner. Okay, very fast. YouTube Music. Okay, let's go to settings. Okay, about the same. Manchester United. Super disappointing season. Okay, F4 GT was just slightly ahead over here. Then Premier League. Okay, about the same. Netflix. Really about the same. Both very fast. Camera app. Both also really fast here. TikTok. Okay, I think about the same. Let's go to Twitter. Okay, and then let's go to the Play Store. So very similar indeed. Let's check out the temperatures. 36.2, and over here 36.3. So very similar indeed. Battery still at 100%. Let's check out the RAM test. So Genshin Impact. Okay, still about the same. Okay, let's go to Pokemon Go. Okay, let's go to PUBG Mobile. Okay, no refreshes here. Let's go to Facebook. Okay, also about the same. Instagram as well. Very good, no refreshes. Let's go to Twitter. Again, no refreshes here. And let's go to the Premier League. All very good. So RAM management as well, very good on both of these two phones, even on their GT and performance mode. Okay, so next time I'm going to do a GPU test here. I'm going to export this into 4K at 30 FPS using INSHOT. So 1, 2, 3, let's go and see which one would come out on top. Looks like the F4 GT again, just having a very slight lead over the GT2 Pro. Still pretty good, I would say, on both of these two phones. Alright, so it looks like we are going to be done. Okay, so we are done with the F4 GT having a lead over the GT2 Pro. Alright, so now we're going to go on to some benchmark tests, and temperature wise, it is at about 36.4, and on the F4 GT, 36.4 as well. So very similar indeed. Let's open up this app. Let's run this test, and just for your information, battery is still at 100% on the F4, and on the GT2 at 99%. 1, 2, 3, let's go, and I'll see you guys at the end when we do get the results. Okay, so we are done with the F4 GT right ahead with a nice single core score and a multi-core score as well. And the GT2 Pro as well, very close behind, but when it comes to the multi-core score, it does fall off behind compared to the F4 GT. And temperature wise, it is quite hot when I'm holding it right now. 37 degrees, and on the F4 GT 37.3, so slightly warmer on the F4 GT. And let's do a compute test right away. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay, so we are done. Very close and similar indeed in terms of score. The Realme GT2 Pro definitely does give you a slightly better score. And if you go on to the history, these are the scores that we normally get. So even with the performance mode or even with the GT mode, as we can see from the scores, it doesn't really make much of a difference right here. Temperature wise, 38.6, that is really warm. Even on my hand I can feel it. And 38.5, so very warm on both of these two phones running this test. So yes, I'll cool these two phones down before we proceed to the next test. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the last test here, which is the 3DMark. And before we do that, let's check out the temperatures. It's about 35.3, and on the F4 GT 35.1, so pretty cool on both of these two phones. So let's open up 3DMark right here. First thing we'll do is the wildlife test, and also keep in mind battery here 100%, here 95%. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. And again, I will see you guys at the end when we do get the results. Okay, so we are done, and in terms of score, 9006 here compared to the 9003. And if you go on to the temperatures, it is at about 36 degrees, and on the F4 GT 36 degrees. So very similar on both of these two phones. There's a FPS, to be honest, not much in it. The F4 GT definitely does perform a little bit better here, 57.6 compared to the 55.8 you can find on the GT2 Pro. So next thing we'll do is the slingshot test. And again, 1, 2, 3, let's go. And I'll see you guys at the end when we do get the results. Okay, so we are done here, and yes, not surprisingly, both of these two phones maxed out. Battery here still at 100%, here has dropped down to 91%. In terms of the temperatures, on the GT2 Pro, 37 degrees, and on the F4 GT, 39 degrees. That is just super massive and hot. In terms of the FPS over here, 75.5, which is of course really much higher compared to the 59.5. And in terms of the score, I would say that this one here definitely does perform a little bit better, or I would say much better compared to the GT2 Pro. And yes, do keep in mind that on both of these two phones, again, both of these two phones have their GT and performance mode on these tests. And yes, these are the results that you are going to get. So yes, if you guys did find this video helpful and also want to see more of these type of videos, do click the like and smash the subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. Do also follow me on my social as well on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and same here on YouTube at Dr. Hammerstack. So that is it. This is Dr. Hammerstack. Stay safe, take care, and wash those hands.